Sorry, I didn't understand you. Did you say something?
All right, you're live.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dinosaur Honor. My name is Jennifer, and let's get started. Before we start, don't forget to take some notes. And there's a activity that we're going to do at the end of the lesson. Where you're going to need some ice. I don't know if you can see it right here. And you're going to need dinosaur toys and balloons. What you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to freeze the dinosaurs inside the water, inside the balloon. If you don't have a balloon, you can use a Ziploc bag right here. All you have to do is just freeze it in the freezer and for like 2 or 3 hours. I know it sounds like a lot, but it will work. At the end, you're supposed to cut the balloon and melt the ice and take out the dinosaur. So I'm just gonna give you a minute to prepare everything. Is everyone ready to continue? I can't see the chalk box in case you guys are putting anything there. So I'm not sure if you guys are ready, but I'm just going to continue. So what does the term dinosaur mean? And who used that for the first time? Well, the word dinosaur is a Latinized combination of the Greek roots dainos, which means terrible, and saurus, which means lizard. And together, of course, the word means terrible lizard. Sir Richard Orange, which is the man in the picture, is a British autonomist and taxonomist who coined the term in the early 1840s after determining that a set of fossil bones that he studied included those of Iguanodon, Megalosaurus, were not lizard, but included something uniquely different. The next slide will be discuss how scientists figure out what live dinosaurs may have looked like, considering that they have had only a small number of bones or evidence to base their reasoning on. Well, scientists use comparative anatomy to help them out to find or guess the look of the dinosaur. They used bones and analogous fingers, functions, articulation, paleontologist can make a first set of assumptions about size, shapes, and gait of the dinosaur, even when only a small number of bones. So why is the Tyrannosaurus rex considered to be the king of the dinosaurs? Well, the Tyrannosaurus rex was the top predator or consumer of its environment. Just as the lion is the king of its environment, so too the T-Rex and its likes were the king species.
Can you go back a slide real quick for just like a second?
All right.
Thank you.
Is there anything you need help with?
No, we're okay.
All right. Can I continue?
Yeah.
All right. What other dinosaurs are considered dominant king species? Well, other dinosaurs considered king species would be the Albertosaurus. The first fossils of Albertosaurus were found by a 25-year-old geologist called Joseph B. Tyrrell on June 9th, 1884 in Alberta, Canada. When he was actually looking for coal. They could run up to 19 miles per hour. Their length was up to 30 feet, and they weighed 2 tons, pretty much as a car. So why did dinosaurs lay eggs? Of course, they lay eggs to reproduce, but many reptiles are egg layers, as modern birds, which according to evolutionists are related to dinosaurs. Fossilized dinosaur eggs have been found, offering evidence that at least some of the dinosaurs were egg layers. Some examples are on the screen, like sauropods. You can find them on display in the Melbourne Museum in Australia, and Hadrosaur eggs on display in the Beijing Museum in China. What types of skin did dinosaurs likely have? Give species examples of each. Well, many prints of highlight bumpy skin or large non-overlapping scales in some species, bony plates. Well, some examples would be on the first picture, you will find it's a bit hard to pronounce, Megalopteryx. The second one will be the Triceratops skin. That's a bit more easy to pronounce. The next one, I don't know if I'm going too fast, so I'm just gonna leave this here a little bit. All right. So what are sauropomorphs? Sauropomorphs were long-necked herbivorous dinosaurs. They grew very large sizes with long tails, and they were largest animals to ever walk the earth. An example would be the Diplodocus. The image on the bottom left just shows some examples, more examples in case you need more on your notes. Why are marine and flying animals not considered dinosaurs? Give examples of these creatures. Dinosaurs are properly those animals included in the superorder Dinosauria, a group of terrestrial reptiles characterized by their stance, by stronger ankle and knee joints, and antobidal and mandibular fenestrae. Marine and flying reptiles come from different lines of species. So individually or as a group, make a diagram of food chain of the dinosaurs. Who is supposed to be at the top of the chain? What is the purpose of this dinosaur? So we can see on the diagram that the Tyrannosaurus is, as I explained earlier, is the king of the dinosaurs. It shows that he is in the top of the food chain, that he can eat the Velociraptor, the Gallimimus, and the Velociraptor can eat any of these over here. And without the plants, the plant-eating animals, they won't survive. And without the plant-eating animals won't survive either. So reference from the Bible that can teach us about the dinosaurs or when it was created. It can be found in Genesis 1:20-25. And God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky." So God created the great creatures of the sea and every living thing with which the water teems and that moves about in it, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and increase the number and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase the earth." Verse 23 says, "And there was evening, and there was morning, and the fifth day. And God said, Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals such as according to its kind." It was so, and it was so. Verse 25 says, God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. So there is a lot of evidence that dinosaurs really existed. Like a lot of scientists found fossils around the world, and sorry, I lost myself here. Sorry, something happened. I lost myself. Okay, so okay, I'm back. Evidence that they existed. Fossils of dinosaurs have actually been discovered around the world. There are also fossilized dinosaur footprints. There's probably gonna be evidence sooner. So we're gonna be talking about evolution, theories of dinosaurs during evolution and creation. In evolution, the story we have heard all from movies, television, newspapers, and most magazine and textbook is dinosaurs ruled the earth for 140 million years, and they died out 65 million years ago, and therefore they weren't found when Noah and company set sail on the ark around 4,300 years ago. However, the Bible gives a completely different view of Earth. Regardless of their size and fearsome appearance, God evidently did create them on the fifth and on the sixth day. Like, what dinos were created on the fifth day? Can anyone answer, please?
Pterodactyls.
Right, flying dinosaurs and aquatic dinosaurs too. And on the sixth day, God created which animal as an example, or like flying or aquatic on the fifth? Well, God created on the sixth day land dinosaurs. And God is the only one that has the power to create and give life. What is evidence that points to the death of dinosaurs because of the flood? The biblical flood found in Genesis would explain how many dinosaurs would be quickly killed and buried to be preserved as fossils. Sorry, I put the wrong slide here. And if an animal dies, it is not buried quickly under extreme conditions. It is not usually fossilized. Even evolution believing scientists agree that dinosaurs were killed off in a global catastrophe. The big debate is when the catastrophe occurred, the Big Bang for evolution or the flood for us. Sorry. So, a sauropod. What is a sauropod? A sauropod means lizard-footed. In an infrator, or this is a bit hard to pronounce because a lot of scientific words are like that. Saurischian or lizard-hip dinosaurs. They had very long necks, long tails, small heads, and thick pillar-like legs. They are notable for the enormous sizes and attained by some species, and the group includes the largest animals to have ever lived on land. A common example will be the Brachiosaurus. There's an image of a Brachiosaurus down there. A theropod were commonly bipedal, with a relatively large head and a counterbalancing tail, An example would be the Tyrannosaurus rex right here. Creatopisons had a bony frill at the back of the head and often horns on the face. An example would be the Triceratops. Ankylosaurus, also known as the armored dinosaurs, had various armor plates on their backs, their tails, and often had a club. Examples include the Stegosaurus, which had bony plates on their backs, as you can see, and spikes on their tails. The Plesiosaurus were marine reptiles with an oval body, a long tail and neck, and flippered legs. The Parasaurus were flying marine reptiles with membranous wings. Some were short tails and often with horns on their heads. An example will be the Quetzalcoatlus. And this is a mix and match thing that you guys can do. In order to write on the screen, just tap annotate, and then you can just draw on the screen. The answers will be in the next page. All right, so the answer will be, sorry, let me just clear this just in case. I don't know if it did it. Oh, there. This is the correct order. From the brachiosaurs, the sauropods, the theropods, the cretopsians, Ankylosaurus, Plesiosaurus, and Petrosaurus. Before we continue, do you guys want me to go back to some of the slides and understand more? No? Okay. So this is something you guys can do with your instructor when you get back to meeting each other. You can do G. You are allowed to do any of the options below, so I won't be covering this. So here I provide some examples you're supposed to provide some examples by searching from the name, the place the fossil was found, the year of discovery, and the general characteristics. I have the first one is done. You guys can take a picture of this and do that one. Also, when you search for these dinosaurs or other dinosaurs that you may like more, it doesn't have to be the ones that I have written down here. You'll notice that the dates weren't found millions of years ago, but more recent in 67 by Robert Plot. He just didn't know it didn't belong to the dinosaur. He thought it belonged to a human giant. It wasn't until William Buckland, the first professor of geology at Oxford University, that the dinosaur fossil was identified in 1819, and he eventually described them and named it in 1824. The dinosaur we're talking about here is the Megalosaurus. All right, so the project that I've been talking about in the beginning was to do something like that. I previously made these. I don't know if you can see it. I froze them in the freezer, and by using the ingredients that you guys are seeing on the screen. It's the dinosaur, water, ice is optional. It makes it freeze faster. So after cutting the balloon, it will sort of look something like this. I don't know if you can see it. Give me a second. Let me just stop sharing the screen. All right. It would look something like this. Whoops. Like this. Yeah. So what you're supposed to do for this activity is that you're supposed to break this ice with a hammer or and a hammer and a screwdriver. So you're just gonna do something like this.
That looks awesome. It turned out really great.
Thank you. And here's a giant version that we decided to do just for fun. Yay! So yeah, you're supposed to have this here, and then break it with the hammer. Wait, let me just get this one real quick. Try not to kill the dinosaur. Oh no. It's actually pretty cold in there. Hope it doesn't go under. And it did, but it's there. Yeah. We need something else. This one sort of backfired, but yeah, this is what you're supposed to do. So yeah, you're just supposed to fill this with water and, oh, my hands are cold. We're supposed to fill this with water and ice if you want to freeze it faster. Leave it in the fridge, in the freezer for like 2 or 3 hours, I think. And just break it with a hammer and a screwdriver. Yeah. Another activity you guys can do. Sorry, give me a minute. Another activity that you guys can do is this one. You can either use Play-Doh if you don't want to make the salt door. Thank you. If you don't want to use the salt dough or make it, you can just use Play-Doh and Play-Doh or clay, air drying clay. You can use that, and I need a bigger dinosaur. Yeah, thank you. You could get this Play-Doh and use the foot right here and just, make dinosaur prints on it like that. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the whole point. You're supposed to leave it there like that and let it dry, and then you just sort of have like a 90 tiny Christmas ornaments or something like that. Another another activity you guys can do. I mean, there's 3 of them in total actually. So there is the ice dinosaur, the dinosaur footprints, or the dinosaur fossil if you want to make it look like that, or this dinosaur lantern. Now, I didn't have much time to put together my jar, so it's going to look something like, sorry, give me a second. It's gonna look something like this. It looks okay. I sort of choked the dinosaur right there with tape, but you guys can do better. What you need is some black construction paper. Cut out the dinosaur, or you just use dinosaur stickers, and glue it to the jar. If you don't have a mason jar, you can always use spaghetti or something like that. And yeah, that's it. Oh, right. I forgot to mention you guys need a candle bright enough to light up the jar, because this one doesn't really light it up. So yeah, that's it. Does anyone have any questions? No questions? You guys want me to go back some slides so you can take notes or something?
Could you go back to the first slide for a minute? I'm sorry, that's really far back. I just forgot to take a picture of that one.
All right. Let's see if I can do it as fast as I can. Oh, wow, something happened here. I have no idea where it went. Almost there. I'm sharing the screen, right? I don't think I'm not. I don't think I am. Here it is. Does anyone else need anything? Nothing else? Again, I can't really see the chat. Oh, I just found it. Thank you, Cynthia. Okay, so the flood and the evidence. All right. Give me a minute. Okay, here it is. This one talks about the creation and the evolution. Is there anything else? Oh, I see. Josiah, he has the tools. right here. Okay, so the dinosaur that I showed you, the experiment that I showed you that we were supposed to do in the beginning, I sort of froze. Here it is. So in the end, I'm just going to, as soon as everything gets solid, I'm going to do what I just showed you with the bigger ice. And sort of, I eventually to get out the dinosaur. But yeah, I'm finished. That will be all. Thank you.